All right, guys, we're here. We're almost on time. We tried to make it for the first time ever alive, a live stream on time. I gotta say live stream, otherwise people are gonna get upset. We're here, New Poker Live podcast, guys. Before we get started, last week we had a couple good ones. They were pretty popular. We had Cole South and Jungle Man on, and if you guys didn't see those, check them out. This week coming up, I'm gonna be at the Poker Awards in LA. I'm gonna do something with the GPI coordinator in charge of person, Alexander Drivus. We're gonna do something from the ballroom there where the awards are, and then Jason Kuhn next Monday while I'm out in LA. We're gonna have a backflip contest, and I'm gonna beat him in a backflip contest. But today, today, guys, you know what? I don't even know how to describe this guy. You think about, when a lot of us were starting to play poker, we used to watch the high stakes games on Full Tilt. We'd always see a couple guys up there just fucking bringing the beat down on people. And this guy, one of the legends of the game, David Benefield, aka Raptor. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me on today.
That was the biggest intro I've ever given anybody that came on a podcast. Normally I just say, here's Jungle Man, or here's this person. But we got man, how would you describe, if I was going to describe you to other poker players, so I normally give a little, tell people about that person. Mm-hmm. How would we describe you as a poker player? What would we say about you?
As a poker player, well, I think it'd be hard to call me much of a poker player anymore, but I don't know, I started playing online in 2004, and back then nobody really had any idea what they were doing. And I kind of climbed the ranks pretty quick and got into the big games pretty early on. A lot of that, I think, I was really good friends with Tom Dwan. We lived together for a while. I used to always watch him play. So I picked up a lot of what he did. Kind of like the group we all came up with was a good, really solid group of guys on 2+2. And I played Sit-and-Goes originally, and I feel like my transition to cash games was a little bit. I didn't start doing that until 2005, 2006. And it wasn't really until I started playing PLO that things started to really go well. I don't know. I don't know how I describe myself. It's I'm pretty abnormal, I think, in the poker world, because I was peaking in 2009. I was doing really well. I was battling everybody heads up, and and then I was God, I'm kind of over it, and I want to go back to school. And so I did that, and then the hours I put in drastically went down. I stopped getting better, stopped battling people, and kind of just I don't know, fade into the background, I guess.
All right, so Raptor gave his description of himself. I'm gonna try it. Let me give a little bit. Let me describe it without the humbleness and the politically correctness. Also, people in the chat, we are live, guys. It's a live stream, as always. Comments, questions, anything you want to say in the chat, go ahead, leave it. There's some speculation that you have or that's the wrong chat. You're chatting on Google Hangout. You got to chat in the
unbelievable.
On the YouTube part, but there's some speculation you might be homeless now with the beard. I know you can you confirm, deny? What's up with this beard?
So it just kind of happens. I was in Macau this summer for a month, and I didn't bring a beard trimmer, so I got back and I was kind of scraggly a little bit, and my girlfriend was like, "Oh, I kind of like it," and I was like, "Good enough for me. I'm never shaving again." But it also serves a very practical purpose. It's 20 degrees outside right now, getting colder and colder, and it keeps me warm. I really like it. It's nice.
And you live in New York City right now, right?
Yeah. Not as cold as Chicago, but still pretty gross out.
I think we're both going through some miserable weather right now.
Yeah.
I've been, like I said, I've been trying to grow my beard. I mentioned that to you before. I've been trying to grow my beard out, and this is kind of as far as I can get, really. I don't grow hair on this side of my face. I don't know how it's possible. I'm almost 30 years old. I feel like I should be able to grow hair.
Yeah.
But every time I see you motherfuckers with this beards, I get man, I'm just what do I got to do? Who do I got to pay? Where do I got to in Beverly Hills when I'm there? Can I get a doctor to give me some implant? I don't.
I honestly didn't think I even could. I was, there used to be patches and stuff, and it just kind of came in one day. I thought, it just worked out.
How long have you been growing this out for?
I usually trim it up every few weeks and just keep it from getting all wiry and gross.
You just said something that I wondered where I got this from. I say that all the time, which is I mean, and I say it exactly like that too. And I don't know where I got that from, but now I'm pretty sure I got it from Dirt. That's where he's the one that kind of starts saying that, right? He's like, I
Yeah.
guess I'd like go all in there, but like, I'm not sure. Like, I think that's kind of the just analytical face he used to make.
Yeah, I think that is a very Tom thing. I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah, I definitely picked that up from him, I think.
I always wonder why I said that, but now it makes sense. All right, I gotta explain to people who Raptor is. All right, so Raptor, guys, he's been around poker for a long time. Why is he named Raptor? As you can see in the background of his house in the top left corner, he's got a Raptor dinosaur back there. Wait, why were you named Raptor exactly? Because you were.
Oh God, I mean that was like my AOL Instant Messenger name from like God, I don't know, like 1996 or something. I just got done watching Jurassic Park and was like, yeah, I love raptors, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, I like that one. Yeah, I thought it was like, you like devoured the competition with your dinosauric ways, and you
No,
decided Raptor was the name.
just a nerd.
All right. Well, Raptor. I think there's much in like the spectrum of nerdy to not nerdy. I think Raptor is actually a pretty powerful name.
Yeah. Huh.
All right. So Raptor started out playing poker, as you mentioned, like 2004. Before you know it, he's making posts on 2+2, ending it with words like holla
Stuff.
and saying holla all the time on 2+2. At some point in time, this turns into him having high stakes poker success, playing the high stakes online. And then he did that for a number of years. He did some card runners videos where he used the controversial term known as the gay bet, which is one of the best names for a bet you could have. And if you don't know what the gay bet is, I hope you might learn something today, and then maybe you can go try that out in your own games right now. You took a couple years off. I guess Black Friday happened, and then we didn't even mention this. You randomly made the main event final table one time.
Yeah, that was pretty fluky. Yeah, I didn't play much poker after Black Friday. I had some money stuck in Full Tilt, and I was still in the States. I was in school, so I didn't really have a way to play online unless I played on like the sketchy American sites or Euro sites or Bitcoin sites or whatever. So I just wasn't really playing poker online at all anymore. But I was still going out to Vegas during the summer and playing a few events of the series, playing a little live cash, going to Macau a little bit. Yeah, so main event, I don't know. I got super lucky on like day 4. I had like I don't know 15 big blinds, like and like 10s versus aces or something, and then all of a sudden I had 30 big blinds, and I basically grinded the stack between 10 and 25 big blinds for like 4 days, and then all of a sudden I was at the final table. That's basically it.
Did you do
Obviously,
like all that? Were you like final table preparing? Like they're like hire the best. Oh, what do they do now? They hire the top, like a ghost, or I don't know what they do these days. I don't like to prepare. They do. Did you do that? Were you like, what was your preparation?
I mean, I'm pretty good friends with Jason Kuhn, and we like worked through some tournament scenarios and stuff a little bit. But I mean, mostly I just like clicked around and I don't even remember the name, like holding resources or whatever like shove math program there is that like you can type in all the chip stacks and calculate EV and all stuff. So I just figured out like what all I tried to guess ranges for people and figure out what I could shove and what I couldn't and stuff like that. And then I also I played a lot more live tournaments over the next 3 or 4 months. Like I went to Europe. I usually don't do that. I haven't played a tournament in Europe in years. Played a couple high rollers and just like EPT, Barcelona, and London, and I don't know, something else over there. Just to like I don't know, get used to being at final tables and being in those situations or whatever. That was about it for my preparation. I didn't really like do a ton of studying or anything or hire some like super legend coach.
Yeah, I think GTO is you get a ghost. You get one of the top ghosts or the top guys, the tournament guys. You get like Scott Seaver in your rail, like standing behind you on ESPN, and I think that's what. Yeah, maybe in retrospect, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm happy with how I played. I busted on, I shoved the king deuce for like 17 bigs or something, and got called by the ace king, so I was not in good shape. In hindsight, maybe, given the result, I probably could have folded it. But
Maybe you shouldn't have had ace king. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly, right? I mean, how often do you get a hand like ace king? Not very often. So there you go.
I agree, especially if you're used to playing PLO. I mean, king two That's like you got a king high at no limit. I mean, that's kind of like a powerful hand, right?
I was suited too. Let's not forget that.
Oh. And you got eliminated ninth place, right?
No, no, I got eighth.
Oh,
I stuck around.
hold on. Let me edit my notes. Eighth. All right, eighth. I thought you had ninth place. I put ninth place written down here.
Snuck up a spot. I'll
How
take
much
that
was
away from
the,
you.
what was the pay jump? Was it like 100?
Uh, I don't know, like maybe 200K, 250K or something. So, I mean, not an insignificant jump.
Not at all. Nice. Do they? Do you get paid out before? You get paid out when you make the final table, and then whatever the difference is, they then pay you out that as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. So everybody got paid like 750K or something, I guess in July or whatever, and then we got paid the rest. Well, Newhouse didn't get paid the rest, but everyone else got paid the rest.
Shots.
November. Yeah.
So when you get this 750K, like I mean, so you're used to playing these high stakes. You're used to having these winning a lot, losing a lot. Like, are you excited? Like, I don't. I mean, I'm sure you're excited, but are you like excited? Like, if most of our viewers watching, they'd be like, hooker, like they'd be doing the standard poker. What you think they do to celebrate? Like, what did you do? Are you like cool?
Uh, God, what did I do? I don't think I did anything. I was like most of my friends were like already gone because nobody's still in Vegas when there's like 8 people left in the main event. And yeah, I think I just went home right after that. I didn't. I might have like gone to dinner or something. I honestly don't even remember. But like, yeah, I didn't do anything like crazy with the money or anything. I just like gave it to some of my friends who have a hedge fund in New York and invested it other ways. So.
You guys watch and imagine this. You final table the main event. You're just like, going home. If I made the final table, I'm just gonna go home and go to sleep now. Like, did you buy anything?
Yeah.
You gave it to the head. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really bought anything. Might have like bought a new laptop or something. Yeah.
And so in the last I mean, I believe that. I can understand. I was thinking the other day, like I was sitting in my living room and I'm like, I don't think I bought anything in like a year. And you know what I mean? It's like, but you go through this when you start like doing really well, you're just like buying this, buying that, and then at some point you just like got enough stuff at some point. You're just like, I don't really need anything. So
Yeah, for sure. At this point, I'm just trying to get rid of shit. Like I have everything I need. I have everything I want. Yeah. So
how old are you right now?
28.
Oh my God. I feel like you were like 20. How old were you when you were making those posts on 2+2 where you were ending things in hollow all the time?
Oh god, I couldn't have been older than 20. I started posting on 2+2 in like late 2003, early 2004, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it was a pretty long time ago.
So
At least 9 years ago.
you guys, was that like hollow was like there was like the thing amongst the crew or something like that? They were like, everyone's like hollow, ship it hollow. Like, well, that was like one of the first.
Yeah. So like, I think the ship at Hollow thing started after I started ending all the posts with Hollow, and I think I did it like once, and then it like made a bunch of people really mad or something, and so I was like, all right, fuck you, I'm gonna keep doing it, and I just kept doing it for like 3 or 4 years, and there's not really like a good reason behind it. Then I just stopped one day.
So you were kind of like, I don't know if you follow much 2+2 these days, but Jason Moe Klink, he kind of posts things to make people mad. As he like has that same mindset, I believe. He makes posts. He might be a little bit more vicious than you are in your posts, but
Yeah, I follow him on Twitter, and he says some pretty incendiary things that I like. He gets the favorite from me a fair bit.
all right, who are the top like 3 poker follows on Twitter that you would recommend people out there follow for entertainment or knowledge or wisdom, I guess?
That's a good question. I really don't follow all that many people on Twitter. I feel like I like Laforte's blog whenever he puts it up there. I think he says a lot of really interesting things about fitness and nutrition and stuff, and just like he's a poker wizard too, so that goes a long way. So I follow him. I always like when he posts something, and Jason Moe stirring the pot like that. Third one. I don't even know. I'm not on Twitter that much. I just kind of like browse through it when I wake up in the morning. Generally for like I use that as my news source, and occasionally I'll see some like poker stuff pop up that I like. I'm pretty disconnected with the community right now.
So what's your life like now? You got a girlfriend. You're living in New York City. I thought you had a real job, and then you told me before we started, like, I don't know, I have a job. I was like, oh, okay. So what are you doing with yourself, man? What's the day-to-day life like here? What are you working on?
Well, I'm in my last semester at school right now. I go to Columbia, New York, and I study political science and Chinese, and I'm usually pretty busy with that during the week. I'm on like the 11-year plan. This is my last semester, taking a pretty lax semester. I only have 12 credits, and then I'll graduate like mid-May and be done. So most of my day-to-day is like I wake up, I go to school, I come home, do some homework, eat a dinner, and like read books and go to bed early. I'm pretty boring right now.
Do you envision that changing when you graduate? You say 11 years?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't like actually been in school for 11 years. I've only actually done maybe 5 years of school over that time period, but I mean, I dropped out twice early on when like normal people go to school, and then I ended up going back in like 2009, 2010. But I took like a year and a half off during that time, and then just went back like last year or whatever. So we're finishing up, and we're finally like, can't believe it's gonna happen.
So what made you decide to go back a year and a half ago? What happened?
Oh, so well, I final tabled in Maine, and I was like, well, I should probably go like try to win a tournament in Europe or something in the meantime, or like work on my game or something. I don't know. But actually, I mean, you know what? Actually, I had been taking time off before that. I'd been in Macau a lot. I did this summer study abroad program through school. I've been taking Chinese, and I did a summer in Beijing. And I actually skipped the main event this year and like pretty much the entire series. This was like 3, maybe 4 years ago. And when I was over there, Tom was like, "Hey, I'm in Macau. The games are awesome. You should come by and check it out." I'd never been there before. And I was like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll go see how it is." And I stayed for like a week and a half, and I was like, "Yeah, we'll stay here before school starts." And then I was there for a week and a half, and I like changed my flight, and I was like, "I'm gonna stay another week. This is pretty good." And then I like emailed my advisor, was like, "I'm not coming back to school. I'm gonna play poker in Macau for a while." And so I did that for a year, and then that summer I final tabled in Maine, and then I took another semester off, and then I was like, all right, this is too much. I only have like a year left of school. I got to go back and finish. So
It's like you're kind of all over the place there with the idea of wanting to go back to school. I think is it so? Do you feel like you finished it just because like you've done so much, or do you want like do you envision yourself going further with it or doing something with your schooling?
I mean, it's pretty unlikely that I ever do anything that I actually need my degree for. But at the time that I did originally go back to school, I wasn't particularly happy playing poker. I was doing really well, but I just like, I don't know, my quality of life wasn't great. I wasn't really experiencing new things. I was basically just sitting at a computer and studying hand histories and playing a ton.
Mm.
So I went back. I did 3 years straight, and then I was in Macau, and I was like, oh, this seems like a pretty good opportunity. I don't really want to pass it up. So I thought my time would be better spent spending like a semester there, just kind of seeing how it goes. It turned into 3. I always intended to go back. It just took a little bit longer than I thought. I mean, as far as like finishing out, like I'm not super motivated with school right now. It's just like obviously I've come this far. I got to finish.
Right.
It was like, yeah. I mean, I'm not unhappy with the decision. It certainly could have gone differently if I like kept playing poker or whatever. Uh, with where I'm at with it now. So
Interesting. You always think like you always hear people like say that thing you just said where they they're not happy with poker. They're doing well. It's so like for instance, there's people that are playing small stakes, micro stakes. They're on 2+2. They're reading the threads and they're like, they see someone like you posting about how you're not happy or like you want to quit. Like it's just you know what I mean. It's just making you feel like kind of miserable in a way. And a
mm.
lot of people can't understand that. They're like, what are they? What the fuck is this guy talking about? He's miserable winning money. You know what I mean? Like, I guess explain that more because I can understand that now from playing poker so long. But I feel like a lot of people out there like they don't really understand what that means.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean like it sounds really stupid to say too, and like if you think about it rationally, it makes no sense at all. Um, but I think like to get to the point where you can be super successful at poker, you have to have this kind of one-dimensional attitude where you're just completely sucked into the game and you don't really do anything else. You can devote that time, that energy, and just have that singular devotion to like really get good and really work harder than everyone else. And I think you really need that, and it's kind of hard to let that go. And a lot of people, myself included, I think struggle with some kind of like balance there. And definitely in like 2008, 2009, that was a problem for me. Like, if I wasn't at the table, I'd be like, oh God, I'm losing so much EV. Like, oh, I go to dinner, it cost me like $5,000 or something. I can't ever go to dinner again. And it's just like a really horrible attitude to have. And I think like the more we play, and a lot of us have kind of like been through that, but then we figure out ways to deal with it and get better, and you realize that, well, life isn't entirely about EV, and we make money so we can actually have time. And if you just throw it away all playing poker, then you know your life's not very good. So it took me like kind of a roundabout way to figure all that out. But I think the main reason was just that I was living a one-dimensional life. All I did was play poker, and I needed to balance it. So
It kind of sounds like the same way I was for 5 years. It was, and I said this on a couple podcasts, and some people actually don't agree with what you just said. And it's the same way I feel, is that you almost have to dedicate yourself 100% to poker. Like, it's almost like your life needs to become poker all the time if you really want to have like that, I guess, like ultimate success at the highest levels in the online cash game world.
yeah, I mean, I think like I never really cared about like playing a certain level of stakes. I just like everything I do, I want to be really good at, and to do that in poker, it just takes an enormous amount of work. I mean, maybe there's like some people who are like smarter or learn quicker or utilize the tools out there better than I did or whatever, that are able to do that without spending 100 hours a week on it. But that wasn't the case for me. I mean, I really needed to work that hard, and it's something that I loved for a really long time. Like, it wasn't work, because I wanted to get better and I wanted to beat these people, and I was like, whoa, that guy just did something really cool. I want to integrate that into my game. And yeah, I mean, for me, it was like totally necessary to have that attitude and that passion. But as soon as that started going away, like, I stopped improving. I stopped working really hard, and that just like it wasn't a good way for me to live anymore. So I needed to change it up.
Yeah, I think at some point you're so like consumed with poker, and then you kind of step back at some point in time, or something happens, and you're like, God, the fuck am I doing? Like, am I playing? I like literally go to my computer and like no shirt and play poker online, and like I'm not really doing much else with things. Like, what kind of impact? Because then you start thinking. I remember you write a blog post or did something. Is there a video about this, or you posted a blog about this?
So, I mean, I used to have a blog that I updated pretty regularly, and I feel like I was always pretty true to myself and how I felt, and I was just kind of putting it all out there. It was definitely genuine, so there's probably a lot of blog posts about that. And I mean, I think like I definitely didn't go about it in the right way as far as like doing the balance thing or whatever. I mean, there's so many great opportunities I just passed on. Like, if I could go back and tell my 21-year-old self, like, hey, stop being an idiot and go travel and do these things and whatever, and like you can still do poker too. I don't know. I mean, maybe I would have like stuck with it a little bit more, but I definitely got burned out. And yeah, there's probably a number of blog posts about that.
Yeah, I remember that I used to enjoy. I read a lot of the Carter's blogs because they're okay. People in chat, because Jay Kuhn popped in. He said, "What's up to you?" They keep asking Jason questions, and someone said you should come on a podcast next. Jason's gonna be on a podcast in about a week, guys. So we're gonna have Jay Kuhn on there. If you want to know his body percent fattage, we'll have him take his shirt off, or I don't know, we'll have him do some backflips for us or something like that. But yeah, he'll be on the show next week in LA. I'm gonna be out there. We're gonna do that live. So all the questions you have for him, you can ask him then. He'll be on there. He'll answer them. Boom. What do you think his body? What do you think Jay Kuhn's body percent fat is? If you had to guess.
I haven't seen him with his shirt off in a while, so I couldn't tell you. I feel like he's put on a little winter weight, though. So I don't know. I mean, maybe eight or 9. It's pretty high for him.
Seems unhealthy for him. 8% body fat. Oh my God! How can you do backflips with 8% body fat?
It's got to be tough.
Can you do like a blurry? Can you do like a backflip or? Why am I so blurry right now? Cross it. Come back in.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna stick blurry for a little bit, guys. Don't mind the camera right now. Don't mind the camera. So I guess stop camera. What the fuck are you doing? Most people know you. There you go. Most people know you as friendship with Durr, and obviously it sounds like you went to Macau for 1 year, Durr's still there, and like 4 years, 5 years later. So like, what's your relationship with Tom now? I think he's kind of like he used to be this person in the poker world that was looked up to, very respected, and now he's kind of looked at as someone who's kind of, I guess, scam jungle man in this long bed and doesn't play online anymore and just like lives in Macau and who like we don't know much about him. So like, how's things with you guys now? Are you still friends? Still talk?
Yeah, we're still friends. I mean, like the Macau thing when he asked me to come. It was on when I got there. He like overstayed his visa or something. He got banned for a year, so he couldn't go back. And so for like most of that year I was there, he wasn't even involved in the Macau thing at all. Um, Now I don't even really know where he is, where he's living. I feel like he's in Vegas quite a bit. He texted me the other day, said he was coming to New York at some point. He never like says dates. He's like really like it's kind of tough to communicate with in general. Like I can't imagine how hard it is for Jungle Man or anybody trying to like sort out the details of a bet. It's pretty tough even if like you're good friends with them just trying to like meet up for dinner. So yeah, I don't I don't really know what he's doing now. I feel like he's in Vegas a lot, but I don't know.
Seems kind of. Would you expect it? It seems kind of crazy what happened. It just kind of like fell off the poker world map in a way, for the most part. Not, I wouldn't have expected that to happen. When think back 5 years ago, he's always on Poker After Dark and
Yeah,
everybody online. It's just.
yeah. I heard there's like like $1 million buy-in cash game happening in London. Like I didn't hear this through Tom, so I don't even know if he's playing, but he got listed as one of the players in the game. So I know he's still like, at least I think he's still playing some like pretty absurd games around the world. I don't think he's in Macau very much because like, yeah, I don't know. There's not like the only big games in Macau, like super big games that go now, are like really private, and it's only like a couple Chinese regs and then a bunch of like business guys, and so like no Westerners can get in at all. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's back over there. What really is going on? I know there's like Chinese New Year's going on this week, and so there's a lot of like relatively smaller stakes action compared to like the nosebleed stuff out there, but it's still pretty big. I mean, you can play like 100, 200-ish, no limit, fairly regularly, especially now, and there's some like fish out there. But there's also like 40 pros trying to get in those games too, so it's not like super easy. You can't just like show up and sit down. You gotta like get there at 8 a.m. and wait for the game to start at noon and like fight all the regs.
Do you still? I guess. Well, just one last thing about Dur. I guess we'll probably talk about him later. But a lot of people always ask, like, is Dur broke? Does he not have any money? And I kind of one thing I say, I wonder if you'd agree with this, is that I guess with the kind of people in Macau he runs around with, speculated these kind of billionaire guys, it's like really hard to ever actually be broke for the most part, because you can always, seems like, get in a poker game. You can always get backed or get staked into something. At some point he's going to win, and he'll have money. It seems really hard to go broke once you reach a certain section of, I guess, people around you that have that type of money.
Yeah, so I mean, I know absolutely nothing about his finances these days. I mean, back when we were living together, I knew more because I could like see his full tilt account balance and stuff. But now, like, I mean, he could have 50 mil, he could be broke. I really have no idea. But you're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, he's playing like these super absurd stakes and these really big games, and I mean, he could be up huge, he could be getting crushed. Who really knows? Except him.
It's kind of that's why I think it's funny when there's so much speculation. It's never, no one ever says he might have a lot of money. It's always he's broke, he's this, he's that. And
Yeah.
who really knows like what's happening over there? I mean, what is it about Macau? It sounds like you kind of like enjoyed Macau. You stayed there for like what's the draw there? What's the fun things to do there? Like why stay there for so long?
I mean, I never loved it there. Like, I was there. I'd only go in like month bursts. It's about all I could take. But I'm usually just playing poker. There's not a whole lot to do other than that. Like, there's a couple decent restaurants. You can go like do KTV, which is karaoke. There's like a couple clubs that I've never been to. Generally, I'm just like, I wake up at like 9 a.m. I get on the list. I try to play poker from like noon to midnight, and then I do it again. And I do that for like a month, and then I'm like, this is really miserable, and then I go home. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I'm like, I know there's like a lot of good games and stuff over there, but it is, you do have to deal with a lot of nonsense. There are a lot of regs, so you're doing a lot of like battling with people who are at least decent, and then occasionally like some fish shows up, and you're not playing like least I'm not. Like, you can't get into the really big games, so it's like 50, 100, 100, 200-ish stakes. I mean, it's worth playing. I don't really know what live games are like in Vegas or whatever, but it's like certainly not the gold mine it was, 3, 4 years ago when everybody was like, "Oh, Macau, it's amazing."
And that's kind of what people were speculating that would happen after a couple years. A lot of these Macau guys, the bad players, the fun players, would get better. They'd improve. They're smart guys. They'd be playing a lot of poker, and then at some point, the Westerners kind of all go over there. I think a couple people probably stick over there, and at some point, the games, as you said, the highest games become private, and
Mm.
now I wonder how it is over there for those grinders that are still there. Who's Americans? Do you know any Americans that are still over? I don't know. Actually, no, off the top of my head.
Almost none. I mean, like there are a lot of Europeans, a couple guys from like Australia, New Zealand, a few from Southeast Asia. It's like kind of like the London crew goes over there quite a bit. But there's not really many Americans. Like Roble used to play over there a bit, but I think like he's just in Vegas now. Like him and some of the guys who are involved in, I don't know, I forget what that poker site was, Victory Poker or whatever. Like it was like Roble and Brian Rass and Keith Gibson, and those guys were over there a fair bit. But I don't think they're in Macau a ton anymore.
Yeah, I wonder. I kind of want to go to Macau one day just to see. A lot of. I mean, were you single when you were in Macau? It kind of might be a reason why you might have enjoyed staying there longer.
No, I mean I haven't. I've been single for like 3 months in the last like 9 years or something. So
Ooh. You're like one of those guys, the girlfriend kind of guy, huh?
yeah, I pretty much always have a girlfriend.
Yeah, it's like go to one to like never single. I hate girls like that. It's like some of these girls, they're attractive, they're have some good qualities, but they're never single. It's like they're always got a new fucking boyfriend every time. It's like new guy, and it's so what's your girlfriend like now? So you're in New York, you're going to school, we'll talk more about I guess what you're doing for work wise. What's your girlfriend like?
She's a little badass. She worked at Bloomberg for a couple years, and then mother doing operations. She was big into the obstacle racing scene. She would compete. She'd do pretty well. She'd place every now and then. So she likes to work out. And she was working with a startup, and now she's trying to figure out, kind of in a transition phase, trying to figure out what she wants to do, where she wants to be. I think we're both kind of over New York. Like I don't know. I've been here for 4 or 5 years now, and it's like I really like New York. I like a lot of the things that it has to offer, but I hate the weather, and it's really, really expensive. I'd like to have a backyard and things like that. So we're looking at other places to be, and she's figuring out what she wants to do and where she wants to do it.
Where are you guys looking at moving to?
Austin's pretty high on the list. Might be top on the list. I was in San Diego a couple months ago and hadn't been there in a long time. I absolutely loved it. It's tough to argue with like 68 and sunny every day all year. So that's pretty appealing. But I think Austin's leading the pack right now. We got a bunch of friends down there, and it's like I really haven't ever met somebody who was like, "Oh, I hate Austin. It sucks." So
It's kind of I lived in San Diego, and I felt like I was like, how could anyone not like want to live in San Diego? It's like the best place. So if you have a girlfriend though, I would not live in San Diego. That is not a relationship. Like you don't. God, I couldn't even imagine not having a girlfriend walking around San Diego. It's like attractive person there, attractive person there. It's like everyone you look around, it's like all these people. Everyone's guys, the women, everyone's in shape. It's just like I don't know how you have to have major discipline to be in San Diego and have a girlfriend.
yeah.
Like I know a couple poker players that have wives and they live there, and I don't know how they do that, man. That's just that seems. Zach says you like the smart girl grind. Is that kind of girls you go for, the smarter girls?
Yeah. I don't really know what to say about that. I mean, I like to be able to have intelligent conversation, and if my partner can't do that, then it's kind of a problem. So.
Yeah, we talk a lot about. We got a couple phrases here. Big girl, you ever been on the big girl grind?
Big girl grind?
Big girl grind, 160 or above. We show you love. 160 or below, gotta go.
I mean that's not my thing, but whatever works for you. I like athletic women.
God damn, everyone who doesn't like an athletic woman? Who doesn't like a 5'6" athletic girl who does in shape and works out? Yeah, we're trying for some diversity. Right now, we're on the tall girl grind as of the Bulls game last night, and I was sitting next to a girl that was 6 foot, and I told her we had this saying, 6 foot and beyond, we got a bond, and I dropped it on her, and I'll report back to people later on how that worked out. So, but it's that's it. I can't say anything more about that. There's people watching this. That Yeah, I'm looking at a list. I wrote down a bunch of lists of topics just to talk about, and most people I write down like 8 or 9, but like you, I just like kept writing. There's just like so many different things along the way. It's like so you start off playing six max, right? Six max no limit, and then you switch to heads up, and then you switch to PLO. Is that kind of how it worked?
Uh, so I started playing. I mean, I was like 15 or something. I was just playing with my buddies in high school. Like we got done watching Rounders, same stories everybody else, playing around the coffee table. Uh, I like got my ass kicked the first 2 times, and there was like one. There were 2 guys who like kind of seemed like they knew what they were doing. They were like folding more often and like betting more often than other people. And so I bought like every poker book I could find. And then within like a month, I was just crushing because all of a sudden I had a bunch of knowledge about poker and no one else did. It's pretty standard. And I started looking for like underground games. So I actually like found this live 1-2, occasionally 2-5 no limit game with like $50 tournaments and stuff every now and then. And I played that like 2 or 3 days a week when I was like 16, 17 before I ever played online. And that was like anywhere from 4 to 8 people usually. Just like 1-2 no limit with massive amounts of rake, no doubt. And it probably should have been beatable if everybody wasn't so bad. But I did all right there, and then started playing online. I was like almost exclusively a sit and go player. I played a little bit of like 6 max limit hold'em and very little no limit. And so just all sit and goes. I had all that all figured out, and then I started playing like 6 max no limit hold'em cash. And as I was coming up, I started playing heads up a lot more, just like trying to battle everyone so I could get better. And then I like went on a heater and was playing a lot of heads up and 6 max and kind of migrated to PLO. So I never really played PLO until I played 200, 400 PLO. Probably not the best strategy, but like back then it was like Gus and Zygmunt and all these maniacs who like never folded and 3-bet everything, and you could buy in for 20 times the big blinds. I was like, all right, I'll fire 8K stacks in there, and just quit when I like get 100 bigs deep because I don't know what I'm doing. And that went really, really well. And then I started playing stuff deeper. So
when you were playing, when you switched over to 200, 400 for your first foray, and by the way, guys, I don't recommend doing that if you're out there listening. Like we love PLO, we fleet PLO. But if you guys are out there and you're playing no limit and you're thinking you're like play Nope, I think we're back. Raptor, we back.
we're back.
All right, cool.
All right.
I think I don't know what happened there actually. I think whatever. We're back. Let's speculate. Ike Haxton put the censor on. We've been talking a lot about Hollywood Haxton lately. So, but yeah, they Hollywood Haxton. I love Hollywood Haxton. Shout out to Hollywood Haxton, man. Do you ever play with Ike? Never played those stakes back in the day when you were playing, right?
No, we kind of missed each other. I never played with them at all.
I
I played with him like 25, 50 PLO like a year ago or something when he just started playing PLO.
Did they have like dream machines back when you were playing, like PLO no limit dream machines where you like put in these things and it just like gave you a calculate, you're like, ah, 6 plus, and they give you the right answer what to do in a situation? Did those exist when you were playing?
I don't think those were out yet. Uh, I had, yeah, I don't think those existed. Nobody really knew what they were doing when I was playing PLO a lot. So, I mean, maybe like three guys had it figured out.
I guess that's how you had success playing 200, 400 then randomly, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the reason for the success was, yeah, I mean, everybody was just playing like a maniac, and if you played a little bit tight and had a fairly short stack, it was almost impossible to lose. So,
So you pretty much only bought in for short stack when you were playing those 200, 400 games?
yeah, I mean, when I first started playing, like, I had no idea what I was doing, and I was just a short stacker, and I quit when I got to like 100 big blinds because I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't want to lose like a 100K pot. Um, but yeah. Like I started playing. Like after I started doing that, I was like, oh, I want to learn how to play, deep stack because these guys seem to be crazy deep stack and there's a lot of money or whatever. So I started playing like 25-50 and 10-20 and stuff. Played a lot of heads up. But pretty much like the majority of the money I've made playing poker has been from heads up, I think. So my six max game has never been as strong.
I'm trying to think, like, what kind of bankroll did you have? You just jumped in 200, 400. Did you, like, were you selling action? I know, like, people sold. I did like stuff like that back in the day. I guess people still sell action now, but what was
Yeah,
your?
I had 100% of myself. I think I had like maybe 250 or 300K roll at the time, and I was like, all right, I think I can beat these games, and I'm gonna set 100K aside to take a shot in like 8K chunk. I'm like, oh, that'll last a long time, and I think I made like 500K in the first week or something doing that, so it didn't really matter. Uh, yeah, I mean, like I've always been like pretty aggressive with shot taking, like, but I never had a problem moving down. Like I was never gonna just absolutely go busto or anything. Like I'd take if I thought a game was really good or a spot was really really good, I thought it was absolutely stupid not to sit, and risk like, up to a quarter of your bankroll or something. If you have no problem moving down and going back to your regular game and you're still rolled for that, like, I mean, why not take a shot?
I guess you can pretty much advocate the same thing now for the most part.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I don't know who the super fish are these days or whatever online, but if like two of them sit in the game and it's like three okay runners and there's a seat open, like come on, put 20% of your roll on the table, let's go.
Two two fun players at one table? You must not follow the online games, kid. That's not even possible.
Okay. Well,
You
whatever.
might.
Heads up against one of them.
Okay, now we're talking. That I don't think I remember seeing a time where there's two. I don't even know who the big fun players are these days at PLO. I guess I was gonna mention a reg as a fun player. My home set. That sounds like might be a kind of mean thing. So you make 500K the first week at PLO.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it got like rocky from there. I'm pretty sure I lost almost all of it back. As I was like, oh, this is so easy. They're so stupid, and then I'd like sit full, and then I'd like lose a lot. So that was mostly why I started trying to actually learn how to play at like 10-20 and stuff.
And then you learn how to play, and then what happened? How much longer were you playing until, like, were you back at the high stakes pretty quickly after that?
I don't really know. Like, so after all, like well, yeah, Guy was playing a lot on whatever different accounts, and like a lot of people were playing 501K and shit. Like, I was not playing that big then, so I kind of like missed that wave. And so I started playing like right after that, some of the nosebleed stuff. And like I've always fluctuated in stakes. Like I never really had a problem playing 10-20 after I'd played 200, 400. If the games were good and I could get like 8 tables going or whatever. Like that was never an issue for me. So I just kind of like I'd bounce around in stakes, and if there was a good game bigger, I would sit. A few times, like I usually try to keep as much of myself as possible, but I actually kind of like selling like 20-ish% because I think it keeps me from doing crazy things that I would do if like I don't know I wasn't on my own. Like I feel like if I'm losing someone else's money, it's gonna like keep me focused and playing better. than if it's just all my own. I don't know. I mean, that may be weird, but it's kind of how my brain works.
It actually makes a lot of sense. I never like sell action ever because I sold action once to Stinger. Sorry, Stinger, I lost you a lot of money. But I felt so terrible. I was like, fuck, man. Like, this is like one of the worst feelings. Like, I don't want to lose like a friend money. It just,
Yeah.
but that makes sense though. You kind of like, it keeps you in line more because you're playing. You're like, I'm gonna tilt, and then you're like, well, I don't want like. I'm sure. So you were selling to probably Tom back then, and who else? Who else was like in your at that point in time? Who's like in your poker circle? Who were you friends with? Who's the people you talk to and stuff like that?
Uh, I was really good friends with Zian Hack Dang,
Uh,
Phil Galfon, Tom. Like I probably talked to. I used to talk to Phil a ton because like he used to be a sit and go player too, and we kind of came up around the same time. And then as I started playing more like No Limit Cash and something and stuff, I started talking to Z and Hack a bit. Started hanging out with them a little bit. I mean, those guys are absolutely awesome. If you could somehow get them on the podcast, that'd be pretty great. They're just like they just kill it at life. These days, like I don't talk to Phil that much anymore. He's getting married in a couple months, and he's out in like Vancouver and Vegas and kind of doing that West Coast thing. I talked play basketball with him during the summer when he's out in Vegas and stuff. But those are kind of the guys I think I talked to for the most part. In like sit and go days, I talked to Alan Sass a lot. I mean, he's not really involved in poker anymore. Peter Jetton, Todd Sisley. Yeah, just like kind of the two plus two guys from back like in the sit and go days.
that was kind of like the like the bosses of 2+2 in a way. Like all those names, like the big names you always see in a thread, and because you're like reading 2+2 threads, you always look for like the recognizable names, and those were kind of like the guys that were like running the high stakes streets around those times, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like we all. I mean, that kind of right place, right time thing. Like we started at exactly the right time when nobody knew what they were doing. We could all kind of learn together. Yeah, like we forgot to mention, Roble was obviously a pretty big part of that group too, and they had like him and Peter started their little Ship at Halabalas thing. I didn't really want anything at all to do with that. But yeah, like it was just like you had to be that perfect age. Like you couldn't be 24 because then you just finished college and like had a real job and you have to quit your real job to be a poker player. And you couldn't be 15 because then you couldn't play online. So you had to be between like 18 and 21, and we all like fit that category where we had the freedom and flexibility to be able to just like pick up this game and try to get really good at it and actually make a life out of it.
I guess it's a lot different now, and to do that at poker, you don't really see. Obviously, you don't see many Americans that age playing because it's pretty hard to really establish yourself or learn. I don't think most people play underage from America anymore. I guess they play Bovada, and it's like you're only going to get so good for tabling anonymous stakes, and it's quite a different industry. I mean, did you ever expect it ending up like it is now, as far as the poker world looks?
Did I experience anything like that?
Did you expect it to look
Oh,
this way at some point in time?
yeah. I mean, like when I first started playing, I didn't think it was something that I would be doing forever. I thought it was going to be. I remember having this conversation with my mom when I was like 19. I was like, "Look, Mom, I'm not going back to school because this poker thing is not going to be around forever. I'm going to try to make as much as I can off it, and then, figure out what's next." But yeah, I mean, I always expected things would dry up. Like, I mean, I don't even think I could beat anything like relatively big stakes online these days unless I played absolute droolers heads up or like super game selected or like short stacked or something. Because I know the games have just gotten so tough and all these guys are putting in just like an absurd amount of work and really like solving all these situations and doing so much work on ranges that I just haven't done. So yeah, I think it'd be pretty tough to even. It'd be really tough to try to get involved these days and like actually try to make a living from it. Just coming in cold if you've never really played before.
So looking back now, so a lot of people say when they're at those high stakes, I want to take advantage of this time. I don't want to have a regret that I could have worked harder and made this amount of money, because it's a lot of money you can be making. Is that something that you think about? Do you ever sit around like, I probably should have maybe worked harder for longer? Do you regret like deciding to go to school and not play as much poker? Or are you pretty much happy with the way things turned out for you?
I mean, things turned out really well for me. It's pretty tough to be unhappy. I mean, I probably could have made more money if I stuck with it, but I mean, I know myself at the time that I made the right decision because I wasn't happy playing poker, and I mean, maybe I would have gone busto because I would have been like, fuck it one day, like I don't, and just like went on raging tilt and dumped it all off. I don't know, but yeah, like if I kept working and I kept trying to be at the top, I think I could still be competitive or whatever, but regret kind of taking a step back. Like, I mean, I still play a fair bit. Like, I'm in Macau a little bit. I go to Vegas during the summer, and like I'll play a little bit online when I'm in Macau, but generally just like I try to battle some people at heads up to stay sharp and play like triple draw and stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like get involved with any of the super killers or rise on the heads up ranking lists or whatever they're called.
You wish you had those rankings back in the day, huh?
Oh man, yeah, that would have been great for some battles. And then, like, cause I mean, back in the day, like people would battle, they didn't give a shit. And so I think it's pretty cool, like this Donger Kim and TC from UB thing, that they're actually like, they're like, well, I don't think that ranking's right. We're gonna battle. And that's just like it's something you don't see anymore, but it's something that used to happen all the time. Like everyone would play everyone just because it was so easy to make money and come back up. Like you just wanted to battle and test yourself and get better.
So I guess you'd say that's the big reason why there was more battling. I guess people might have been more. It was easier to make it back. Most people probably thought. I guess people were more carefree. They didn't. It's like the money was flowing. It's kind of like, well, fuck, let's like why not play?
Yeah, yeah. I think it was just. I mean, it was way easier to make money back then. There were a lot more bad players, and I mean now, like back then, no one would have ever even considered like giving you shit for like, oh, you got two extra buttons than me, like and then like made a 2+2 post about it, like you buttoned me 3 times. Like that just like it's just inconceivable. But now, I mean, I guess you gotta grind out that zero point zero 0.01 extra BB per hundred, and so you like really, I don't know, you gotta do stuff like that. That's, I mean, like, I don't really want to do that, so I don't really play anymore. But yeah,
The WCG Rider approach. You mean when he posts in the high stakes thread that he needs his buttons back?
I don't know. I mean, he's he's obviously a super killer. Whatever he's doing is working. So
Dream machines, man. I'm telling you, yes, you missed the dream machine year. They're right after you. I think after you left, those started coming up.
yeah.
So I guess what are you doing now? So you're in New York. You're not working an actual job, but you're involved. What do you do? What are you keeping your time on besides school? How are you trying to make money in future and that kind of?
I mean, I've invested in a lot of different things, in a couple different companies and a couple different startups, and I'm not entirely sure any of them are going particularly well, but they're all like industries that I'm interested in. Like the one that I like the best right now is, I don't know if you guys remember Travis Rice at all, but he was like Travesty Fund online, and he was a big MTT player. He like won a couple live events and some like F-tops and stuff. But him and I lived together back in the day. Like he is one of my best friends. And he kind of got out of poker. He was pretty over it. He just like had a big score. He won an F-tops or something. He wanted to start a green energy consulting company, and he was looking for some outside investment. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. I mean, money's easy come, easy go. So we threw him some money, and I didn't really think much of it at the time, but he's still grinding that. We got our partner, Daryl Jackson, and we kind of migrated away from green energy stuff and are doing natural resource distribution. So we're like trying to do it's pretty different than green energy consulting, but we have a pretty good contact from China, and we're trying to source these natural resource deals, put together iron ore, copper, coal, different types of fuel. So we're working on a lot of different stuff. I'm not very involved in it. I've like sent a couple emails, and I try to stay up with what they're doing, and I have a call with them every week just to kind of get filled in on what's going on. But that's I think that's the kind of thing that could like really blow up and be 100 mil plus, or just kind of fit. So we'll see how that one goes. The other stuff is like there was some medical device that was like an evolved form of Life Alert. I don't think that one's going too well. That one may have been a mistake. A couple of my friends like started an app. I got involved in that. I mean, I'm not an angel investor. I didn't like run these sims and models about like how it was gonna be profitable. I just tried to like put some of the extra money I had in companies that I was interested in with people who I thought would work really hard and were really smart and could do a good job. Um, so yeah, as far as like other stuff I do, I play a lot of basketball. I play on.
Oh my God! Hold on. Let me put my seat up here. Go ahead. Go ahead. Basketball. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't really start playing much until like 2 years ago. Like, I wasn't good enough to play on my high school team. I played football and baseball in high school. Was pretty good at baseball. I was trying to play in college, but ended up getting hurt. Got into poker. But yeah, so now like I had a bunch of friends who were playing basketball, and I started playing. Pick up with them. They meet every week. We rent out like a high school gym. And we play there, and then like we started playing in a league in New York, and then I play at like. So like the Equinox has 2 full courts, and they always have pickup at like noon and 6 p.m. every day, and have like 20, 25 people. Pretty good competition. So yeah, I play like 3 or 4 days a week, and that takes up a decent amount of time. Like most of my like workouts and stuff are targeted towards getting better at basketball and jumping higher.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. Anyone that watched the podcast know I play basketball like 4 or 5 times a week. Like I sometimes do 5, 6 hour sessions. A lot of my workouts and my diets are all geared towards basketball right now too. So you're speaking my guys. If you don't listen to basketball right now, we're gonna have a little basketball conversation for a couple minutes right now because this is like when you meet a girl and she says I like poker, and that just doesn't happen very often. So that man, that just doesn't happen. So how tall are you?
I'm like 6'2".
Okay, me too. What do you weigh? What's your stats right now? 6'2", 180.
I'm like right around 200 right now.
Oh my God, I'm trying to get man. Are you big into throwing the body around, using contact to get to the hoop and get separation?
I mean, I use my body a little bit. I work down low as much as I can. I can jump pretty high and run pretty fast. So that helps out a lot. My mechanics aren't all that good. I'm like becoming a much better shooter, and I'm working a lot on my dribbling. But like, if I had to play point guard, it'd be an absolute fucking disaster. But I try to contribute a lot. Like I try to set a lot of screens, and I make good cuts, and I get a lot of rebounds, and putbacks, and stuff. So like, I try to fill a role. Yeah, I haven't been playing that long, but I'm pretty athletic and strong and stuff. So it's like, I think basketball's a game you can kind of do okay with. And once you start figuring out some of the technical stuff, it gets a lot better. Like I've gotten a ton better in the last year, just like being able to dribble a little bit more and like actually being able to shoot a shot other than a layup with like some consistency. Like I can shoot a 3-pointer now and it like not be a disaster. Like it's might be a good shot every now and then. So we're getting there. We got a long way to go, but it's a lot of fun. Like I just absolutely love playing. Like there's no other sport I have as much fun as I do playing basketball. So
yeah, I'm the same way. I started playing like a year and a half ago when I was like 27, and I had like an NBA 2K obsession, and I was like, God, I need to like stop playing video games. So I was like, I'm gonna go to the gym and try basketball out. And I was like, oh, this is fucking great. Like, I mean, obviously it helps if you're tall. It helps if you're in shape. But yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I think it's one of those. I think it's like such a fun thing to do. It's just keeps you in shape. It like tests your endurance and no other. I mean, there's not many things we can all beat LaForte at, but basketball is definitely one thing we would take LaForte to school at.
for sure.
LaForte just came in the chat. He said David Beardfield. David Beardfield. I like David Beardfield. Okay, it's a new nickname right now. It's David Beardfield. Shout out to LaForte. If you ever want to play basketball, let me know. Do you play a lot of one-on-one?
No, like I haven't played one-on-one since like after football practice in high school. Yeah, I mean we could run it, see what happens, but I feel like I wouldn't be very good because I can't dribble. So
it's a slight problem. I mean, you weigh 200 pounds. You don't look like you weigh 200 pounds.
Yeah, I mean I got big legs. I don't know.
Those damn legs, man. You work out the legs a lot for basketball. You don't want to, like squats. I guess squats, deadlifts, a lot of jumping drills is kind of what people use to get better at legs for basketball.
Yeah, so I used to do a ton of like kettlebell stuff, and generally I try to target just explosive movements in general. So like high pulls and swings. I used to do power cleans a fair bit. Now it's like I mostly just squat, do some plyos, and play a lot. Like I don't. Like I mean I squat maybe once a week now. Like I'm not really like lifting all that much. I'm mostly just like playing a lot, trying to be in shape and like work on technical stuff because like I'm not too concerned about getting in better shape. Like I want to be in like good basketball shape and I want to be fit and not get tired when I play like 10 games or whatever for 3 hours. But right now I think the most important thing is like just getting better technically. So I'm just trying to play a lot. Kind of like get a good feel for the game, know where I'm supposed to be, get better at defense. Yeah.
I think we're gonna have one of my. I haven't actually seen anybody in person to do this, but a half PLO, half one-on-one basketball challenge. It's a combination of the two things. It's like I don't know the specifics, but I plan on doing this with more than 5 times this year. So if you play you play heads-up PLO, and then you play like I don't know. It's like you play basketball, and then you play heads-up PLO, and then you go back to playing basket. It's something like that, but this is a perfect competition for that. So we're gonna in Vegas this summer. We're gonna try to make this happen.
It's like chess boxing.
What's that?
It's like chess boxing. You know about chess boxing? So you play chess. You like make 5 moves or something, and then you like box for a round, and then you go back. Yeah, it's a thing.
Chess boxing? You play 5 moves and you go hit each other?
Yes, it's amazing.
What if you get knocked out?
Well, then you lose. So you either have to checkmate somebody or knock them out.
What the fuck? No, we're a big fan of playing chess here on the podcast. We've had the Women's World Chess Champ Jen Shahad on, talk some chess GTO. But I never thought about chess boxing. You punch them and then you go back to play chess.
Yeah. So I know her like her and Greg would do like CrossFit chess or whatever, where they'd have to do like burpees every time they like lose a piece or whatever, and do it for time. But yeah, I think chess boxing is like the next step in that evolution.
Do you play? Have you been a big chess player in your life?
No, I mean I've dabbled and I like read one book. I used to play I think like me and Stinger used to play a lot. But yeah, I'm not very good. I'm certainly not a chess player. Like I know, I kind of like understand how it works, and I like know how to combo pieces and stuff or whatever. But anybody who has like any idea what they're doing would just crush me.
I learned one thing in my gambling career is you don't gamble with Stinger at anything. Never. That's one thing I don't do anymore. I'm sorry out there if some people that gamble with Stinger are watching. You don't gamble with Stinger. If Stinger offers you a bet or something, just don't do it. It's not a. They said Jen Shahad mentioned chess boxing. Oh, she did mention that. You're right. I don't know. Chess. Who thinks about chess boxing? That's not something I think about.
Well, maybe you should. It's pretty amazing.
Oh my God! All right, I would take a couple questions from you guys in here in the chat. People just want to talk more about Tom Dwan. What else can we really say about Tom? What could you tell us? You have the best story you guys have from living together in the place with the big TV here, and that famous thread on 2+2. What was the best story from there?
Best story from there. I don't know. I mean, like around that time though, and this is something some of you may not know. I'm not sure it was like public knowledge or whatever, but I feel like there were enough people there that whatever. Anyway, so like Cole South on the podcast last week or whatever. We were in, where were we? I think we were in like Niagara Falls. We all must have been like 19 or 20 or something. This is a really long time ago. And a lot of the guys I mentioned earlier were all there. A lot of like the 2+2 single table tournament guys. Anyway, we're all pretty drunk, and somebody was like, hey Tom, I'll bet you won't dive into that fountain. And it's like cold. It's in Canada. It's like, I don't know, near winter time or something. And so he like dives into the water. He's freezing. He like wins a bet or whatever. And then it escalates. There's like a Denny's over there, and it's like, hey Tom, I bet you won't streak through Denny's. And then Cole South was also part of this somehow. I don't really remember the details exactly, but what happened is that Cole South and Tom Dwan ran through Denny's naked. And the greatest part about it is me and Roble, Alan Sass, I think like we thought it'd be a great idea to like go to the other side. And they paid a cabbie in advance to like wait for them with all their clothes. They could like jump in and just like get out of there quick. But we tried to pay the cabbie to like drive off with their clothes and stuff, so they'd just be like stranded in Canada without any clothes. Anyway, the cabbie must be like the most honorable cabbie on the planet, because like we tried to like triple whatever they were gonna pay him, he wouldn't take it. So anyway, yeah, they streaked through a Denny's like 10 years ago. I feel like that was kind of crazy.
Let me picture this right now. Durr and CTS, Clean Cut, Mr. All-American, Cole, CTS South, naked in a Denny's.
I think there might have been a thing where somebody had to like take a French fry off somebody's plate and eat it. I can't remember if that happened or not. I feel like it did.
You guys got a receipt on this? Take any photos or anything?
Man, I mean, you can easily verify this with at least 3 sources. Like I'm pretty sure Roble was there, Alan Sass, like Todd Sisley might have been there, Peter Jetton almost certainly, Max Greenwood. I mean, any number of people I think could verify this.
Who knew CTS was such a party? This is when he had the Bentley CTS, high flying CTS, driving the Bentley, streaking through Denny's naked.
Yeah, this was the glory days.
Share another story with us. We like another one. I feel like you got to have more if that's one of the stories. There can't be.
God, I don't even know, man. Like, I mean, the chess bet was a pretty big thing, I guess.
That was I can't remember the specifics of that. How did that go?
So that was like maybe 2007 or something, 2008. Me and Tom were eating at the super healthy restaurant P.F. Chang's, having some mongoloid beef and brown rice and crab wontons and whatnot. And yeah, so like we were talking about chess, and we played a little bit of chess, and like I knew I was an absolute disaster, and he was like slightly better than me, and so obviously that meant he was a disaster too. And he was like, "Oh, I could totally beat a grandmaster down a pawn. I would just piece change." And I was like, "You're a fucking idiot. No, there's no way." And then we ended up like sorting out the details that like he could play a grandmaster who was down a rook, or like he could play anybody I picked. Like I could pick a chess player to come play him, and we like booked 50K basically immediately, like over dinner after talking for like 10 minutes about it. And so I immediately got up. I called Curtains, Greg Shoddy, and I was like, "Hey, if you played me and you were down a rook, would you beat me?" And he was like, 100%, and it wouldn't even be close. And I was like, yes, this is gonna be so good. So I was like, all right, Greg, I'm gonna give you a free roll. If you come to Vegas and beat Tom 2 out of 3 down a rook, I'll give you 5K and pay for your flight. And so I don't know, like a month later or whatever, we had it set up. Greg came to Vegas, beat the shit out of Tom, and that was it. It might be like the biggest chess bet in history. I don't know.
I feel like Jen Shahad's watching this tilted right now that she didn't get on this action for this free roll because.
Yeah, it was before her time.
45,000. How much money are you up on side betting or prop betting with Tom? It has to be a lot.
I mean, not that like we don't really prop bet that much. I mean, we used to bowl a lot and we would do a bunch of like silly bowling bets, but I mean, like other than that chess bet, it hasn't been big. He did it. Ah, fuck it, I don't care. He had this. We had his bet. How much did I give him? I think I gave him 1,000 to 1 that he could have sex with someone while skydiving, like in the process of skydiving.
Oh.
And he paid me $200 on the spot, and he had like until he turned 25 or something, but he didn't do it. I think there was like a little bit of a sweat towards the end because he went skydiving like 4 or 5 times in the month, and I thought he was like training for it or whatever. But it never ended up happening.
I'm thinking about how would I train for a skydiving. Listen, if somebody wants to give me this bet, 1,000 to 1, I've never been skydiving. I will take the bet to have sex skydiving, and you give me 1 year. I will take the bet. Just if anyone's out there, I'll do the bet. But how would you train for that?
Yeah, I mean, it should be doable.
I think David might have froze again. Maybe the chat's going down. More shout-outs while we wait. All right, who we got? Epicurus. What's up, Epi? Cesar Contreras. What's up, Cesar Contreras? Rob Straight. What's up, Rob Straight? Him again. GTO plays. LaFort, man, update your video blog. LaFort, we want to learn some more working out. GTO, we want to learn about what to eat. Summer's coming up. People are trying to get better bodies. Please, LaFort, update your shit. Nothing is for show. You back?
I'm back.
All right, we're gonna give a couple of shout-outs. All right, so we're talking about the skydiving thing, and I'm genuinely interested in this.
Mm-hmm.
Why did he? Do you think he could have done it? I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be doable. I just didn't think he was going to do it. It seemed like really hard at the time.
Was he like a ladies' man back in the day, or was it like what?
No, that's part of it. This is like, this was probably 7 or 8 years ago, and he's just this poker nerd. He just like plays poker all the time. Um, so obviously I thought it was a lot, but I think 1,001 is just ridiculous odds. That's way, way, way too good. I think probably like 40 or 50 to 1 probably would have been better. So he made a good bet, for sure.
I can't believe he didn't do it. What a fucking nit. He's playing like high stakes. You can't do that? Like, really?
Maybe it was 500 to 1. It was 500 or 1,000 to 1. I can't remember if he paid me 100 or $200, but he would have got 100K if he won.
Maybe they wouldn't do it for legal purposes or something like that.
I don't know. I feel like he just, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why he didn't do it. He definitely should have. Definitely could have punished me.
What a nit, man! I can't believe now we got man. I can't believe he's that nitty. There's some speculation. No. There's an allegation that you can sing in Chinese. Is this true?
I can sing in Chinese.
All right. So can I write you a song right now and then you can translate it into Chinese for me?
Probably not.
Okay, we're gonna try though. It's gonna be a short song and it's not gonna have hard words. All right. All right. Puppy, puppy, puppy.
Go.
Hola, hola, masi.
Huh?
Puppy, puppy. Okay, you're right. I'm giving it to you in Spanish. You're not gonna be able to know it. Okay, you just sing. I'm trying to. You sing me a song. Go ahead. That's my favorite song. But you sing us a song in Chinese.
Hmm. I really I don't yeah, I don't know. I don't want to sing a song in Chinese.
If you sing a song in Chinese, I'll sing a song in Spanish.
How long of a song?
It's got to be a 15-second song.
All right. All right, I'm in.
Okay, let's see it.
Let me think. 做这个事，假如果你有太多的抱怨，跌倒了，绝不敢继续往前走。为什么人有这么的脆弱堕落？请你打开电视看看多少人为生命在努力勇敢。All right, I'm done.
Dude, you sing awesome in Chinese.
Thanks.
What kind of sick voice do you have? What the? I didn't know you're a professional singer. Wait a second. Before I agreed to this, I didn't know you're a professional singer.
That's Macau karaoke right there.
Is that GTO to get the women in Macau? Like you just paid for them. $5, done. That's it. But you can sing to them, huh?
No. I've always had a girlfriend when I've been in Macau.
That sounds like That sounds terrible. Why would you do that to yourself?
I like having a
Yeah, girlfriend's kind of guy, right? Even in Macau. If I don't have to sing the song in Spanish, I'm not gonna do it. But I gotta think of a song. That was like an actual song.
I was promised a song in Spanish.
Okay, well, you don't know Spanish, do you?
No. I took Spanish in high school, but I don't remember any of it.
People in the chat are saying it's on a little bit delay. They're saying that song was awesome. They love this song. That was a pretty good song. I don't know your Chinese. How do they say poppy in Chinese?
Like Poppy? Like Dab?
No, that's not our translation. Puppy, hey, puppy, what's up, puppy? How do they say that?
Like bro? I don't know.
Oh, man, hold on, let me Google this shit. Poppy, Spanish to Chinese. I know how to read Chinese. Oh, I don't know how to read that. Holy shit. Never mind. All right, I got a song in Chinese.
Share it on the chat, and then I can read it.
Yeah. Okay. Can you do that, please? How do I copy this? What the? Chinese is crazy. All right, that's how I say it. I put it in the chat. How do I say this in Chinese?
What is that? Let me see. It's like it's a cognate. It's Poppy.
Do it one more time.
Poppy.
Poppy. Poppy.
Poppy.
I gotta put this in my Twitter name. This phrase now. I'm tweeting that out. Oh, that's awesome. All right. Yeah, you sing really well. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, man. I'm never going karaoke with you. Justin says, "Oh my God, I'm from Hong Kong, and I've got to say that was awesome." He sang a really popular song in Asia.
It's a J Cho song. It's pretty big.
All right, let's try to sing a song here in Spanish. All right, so just to let you know, it's frozen. All right, let's go. Hola, cola, mosa, puppy, puppy, puppy. Hola, cola, mozo, papi, 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 mi señorita bonita, quesadilla, Shakira, bonita, papi, papi, papi. That's all I got. That's
Nice.
that's it, man. That's my Spanish voice. I gotta admit, you sing really well, and now I want to go take some singing. Man, how do you? Jeez, does this give you an edge in the foreign the market with your job that you do? Or I guess with the company you're involved in? You said it's some Chinese investors.
Yeah, I mean, not really. Like, pretty much everyone that I've dealt with speaks English. I mean, it like might be some benefit in Macau being able to speak a little bit of Chinese to like. A lot of times you're sitting there and there's like one Chinese VIP fish guy and then like 8 regulars from Europe. And so you can have like basic conversation like, oh, where are you from? What do you do? How long are you in town for? Like, just as kind of a general like friendly kind of thing. Like, it's not. I don't think it's giving me a big edge or getting me into any games or anything. It's
Hmm.
just like it's a nice thing to be able to do. It's just kind of friendly and cultivates a better environment, I guess.
JW asked a great question. Can he dance it? We haven't had a dance off since I can't remember the last person we had a dancer. Are you a dancer? I feel my basketball footwork really helps me at dancing on a lot of spinning and a lot of the movements. Do you dance?
I do not. No.
So you don't have a dance. You already did a sing off and you took me down on that. So a dance off. Yeah, all right. We don't.
You already made me do the sing off. I'm gonna pass on the dance
You're a
off.
great singer. What do you? I made you do the sing. You were like, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna sing, and then all of a sudden I'm a fucking professional singer. Of course, that was like cheating. What the?
You pressured me. I wasn't gonna do it.
You sing like a goddamn saint. Why wouldn't you want to do? Why wouldn't I would sing more in Chinese if I were you?
Okay.
I my God, just professional Chinese singer, hidden talent of Raptor over here, man. Who would have thought that? Do you know who Imagine King is? Have you ever met him in China?
Uh,
Does that name sound familiar to you?
yeah, it kind of like rings a bell, but I mean, I don't know. Who is it?
Yeah, I can't remember his actual name now that you mention it. He plays high stakes PLO, and he's like a debatably fun player. And by debatably, I mean he's a very fun player. But he's
Uh,
like some Chinese pop star who plays live in Macau as well. But
yeah, I don't think I played with him. Maybe, but
I can't think of him. We do Jungle Man impressions as well. But with you, we're gonna get a Dur impression. Do you have us a Dur impression you can give us?
oh god. A Dur impression. You know who does a phenomenal Dur impression?
Hopefully,
Uh, Not me, but Mikey Stotts. He's unbelievable. It's like it couldn't be better. So I'm gonna try to channel him for this Dur impression.
let's hear this.
Fuck, I don't know what I don't even know what he would say. Like yeah, so I like bet the river and then like he went all in and I was like, oh I don't know. I mean I guess I got the call, but I don't know.
I don't think that was a good one. But there's no grades. We're not giving out. We're not. This isn't school. We're
Hey,
not grading your performance.
I tried. That's the best I got. I can't
How,
I yeah, I can't I can't do a good impression. Sorry guys.
you live with her for how long?
I guess kind of like on and off for a couple years.
Okay, and you've seen him naked before, so and streaking through a Denny's.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say that I sort of look like him. Can we set the record straight for once and for all? Do I look like Tom DeWan at all?
I mean, yeah, a little bit. Mhm.
People say that. They're like, you look like Durr. And I'm like, I don't think so. But
I don't think you guys look similar at all, really. But
okay, good. As someone that's seen him naked, I feel like you're qualified to answer that question. So I felt I kind of wanted to ask you that. So,
you're welcome.
what's Mikey Stotts up to? A couple people want to know. Sender, the preak.
He got married a couple years ago and went to I think like his wife is doing nursing school or med school or something in Arizona, so I think he's living in the sun.
Yeah, now I see why you want to get down there, man. You gotta get down. You gotta get to that warm weather. New York City, probably a good place to live, but warm weather seems much more ideal.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a kind of rough winter. It's just been kind of pretty cold, and I don't really want anything to do with it. So we're gonna be out of here soon.
That's what I like to hear. I'm getting out of here too. I'm never coming back. I might go to LA and just never come back. Fuck it.
Why? Why are you in Chicago? Why'd you leave San Diego? You said it was so amazing.
Well, that was before the Black Friday happened. So Black Friday happened. I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do now? This is before Untracked Euro sites. This is
Uh-huh.
before things could, whatever. So yeah, we went to Vancouver. We played some live poker in Vegas, and we were like, God, this is fucking terrible. So we went to Vancouver, and then from Vancouver, ended up in Australia. And then when I came back from Australia, I got into it. Enjoyed partying a bit too much. So as you can imagine, partying and high stakes PLO don't quite mix. So I came back to the United States, moved back by my parents, and met a girl. And
Mm.
as you know, love, as a girlfriend's kind of guy, you know how love can be, man. You get that girlfriend, and then before you know it, it's a year and a half, and you're still living in goddamn Chicago over here. So, oh my God, and then, sakes, man, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's,
What are you gonna do?
fuck, man, I know, but we're right now, who knows, man? Yeah, who knows? I guess the only other thing I wanted to ask you about was really the card runners thing. You started making videos. You came up with the term the gay bet, which some people might have a little issue with. Wasn't politically correct or whatever. And I guess why were people making videos back then? Did they see it as potentially a very dumb thing? Was it like, what was the reason why people started making videos? Like, why did you start making videos?
I mean, the primary motivation for me, specifically the full tilt deal. I heard that the Card Runners Pros were working on a deal with Full Tilt, or the Card Runners Pros. Card Runners were, I guess some of their lead pros would become red pros, and they get like the 100% rake back and whatever. And I was playing I was putting in a decent volume. Then I would like play a lot of 5K heads up sit and goes and stuff too. And so like the 100% rake back was really, really, really appealing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought if I started making Card Runners videos, I could get in on that. It worked out. So that was pretty much it for me. I actually only made I don't think I made more than about 7 videos or so. So I had a pretty active blog, but as far as like actually making videos, I didn't do that so much.
Do you think that making videos now, like if you were playing now, do you feel like you'd be making videos now?
No, I don't think so. I mean, first of all, I'm not like nearly good enough to make videos anymore. Like I don't think anybody would get anything out of watching me play poker at this point. There's got to be just so many better people out there. Like I know Phil still makes a bunch of videos. Like those are probably awesome. And like Jens makes videos even. Odd Oddson makes videos. Like I mean, go watch those guys. Like they definitely know what they're doing. But like me personally, I don't. I mean, there's just no reason. There's no reason to it. I mean, as far as like giving away like tons of value and like making everyone a good player, I don't know. I mean, I think that's going to be inevitable anyway. And like I think a lot of people make videos not like to make the money. Like the amount of money that most people make from the training sites, like if they're actually making the videos, is minuscule compared to the amount of money that they're like actually making playing. And so I think most people do it more for like because they enjoy teaching and they want to share their knowledge, and it's just like yeah, that kind of thing.
So I guess
Like
back when you were doing it, you didn't think that you making these videos would directly impact your bottom line. So you say you're playing 20 of a 50 or 50-100. Now you're giving out this information to these 5, 10, 10, 20 guys who potentially take money from your fun players or potentially play against you. And, so instead before they're like a 3 BB winner, now they're a 6 BB winner or something like that. Did you think about that
yeah, I
type of thing?
mean, I think that's definitely a concern. Uh,
Freeze again? More shoutouts? Hold on. Maybe frozen. It's frozen again. I'm going to remember that question and give some shoutouts. Epicurus, you're always down here, man.
all right,
Oh, he's back. No more shoutouts. Oh, hold on. Okay, go ahead.
I have just like such shitty internet here. Like I don't know why it keeps disconnecting. Uh, what are you even talking about? Okay, so like yeah, I mean that's definitely a concern. Turning like less winning players into more winning players or whatever, and giving up EV, blah blah blah. But I mean that's not. I mean maybe the people who start the sites originally, that's the intent to like, oh, I'm going to make like millions of dollars off this training site. But I think I mean, for me, I just like I kind of enjoyed making videos because like, oh, I think like what I'm certain things I'm doing are pretty cool and like I don't I guess I didn't really care all that much if like other people are getting better and it like hurt my bottom line because I didn't think it was gonna be like I didn't think it was gonna like punish me and I like to think that I can adapt much faster than the people I'm playing like if they're gonna try to use my tricks against me or whatever like I know what videos I made I know what information I put out there about how I play and how I think or whatever and maybe some people are going to be able to exploit it, maybe not. I don't know. Um, but I guess I was never too concerned about that.
I'm actually thinking back. I remember, I don't know why I remember, but something you said brought this up to me. I feel like I remember in a video you made, it was your third or fourth video, and you said something like, now everyone's doing this. From after I started doing it in my video, now everyone's doing this. And maybe I like shouldn't have said that. I remember you mentioned. Do you remember saying anything like this? Like I
Yeah,
literally remember like I was watching a video and I was like, well, that seems obvious. Like that's probably what you should have expected. Like if you give out this information that no one else is doing, that gives you your edge. Then
yeah. So I mean, I like when I was making those videos, I was in a very experimental phase, and so I was doing a lot of like kind of weird, goofy things. So I think the thing that you're talking about specifically was just playing the button super aggressively in six max. And I
long
was
hand playing the
what's that?
button aggressive, playing the button aggressive. That just seems like it's like a common thing these days, you know. But at that
Yeah,
time, it was like new idea.
right. So I mean, like people would three bet the button with like 7-6 suited and shit sometimes, and then be like, oh yeah that could be like a good play or whatever. But I mean, I was like three betting like 10-4 off and shit just to like see what would happen and see how people react to it. And I don't know, for a couple months, like it worked really really well, and then people were like, oh, should probably start four betting now with like nines and stuff instead of just calling or folding or whatever. So I think it definitely like changed the dynamic of the like 10, 20, 25, 56 max games on Poker Stars after a couple months. But I mean, I think that would have happened anyway if I hadn't made a video because like I was playing with those people every day and they would have noticed I was three betting the button with 10-4 off eventually. Probably made the adjustment. So
Pretty wild to think that that was what was happening at some like you see poker now and people that maybe just started playing poker 2 or 3 years ago and they're railing the games like we're talking about four betting right we're talking about three betting the button like this seems like it's just such like everyone knows steal the button three bet the like everybody man it's just I couldn't imagine PLO back then holy crap God
Halo is unreal.
my oh my fuck man I gotta look up some old Zygmunt hand histories after this to really get the full old school PLO experience. The
Yeah.
race, the races. Wait a sec. What's this guy's screen? I'm not saying your screen name, man. All right. The race is gay. Says Joey hit me with a shout out. Longtime fan. First time catching the live stream. We don't got no love. Yeah, we got no love for races gay. What kind of name is that, man? I'm banning you. You come back. You make a new name, bro. What the fuck kind of shit is this? Come on, dude. Steve asked, Are you still doing mixed martial arts? If so, what disciplines are you in? Boxing, jujitsu? Question mark.
So I got into no. So the short answer is no. But I got into jujitsu like I don't know, like 6 years ago or something, and started taking it like medium serious. I really enjoyed doing it. I always kind of liked the one-on-one type stuff. I never got like particularly good, but I was training a few times a week and did that for like a year. And then I started boxing, and I did that kind of on and off for a couple years. But I haven't like I had two fights, and then after my second fight, I kind of had like I don't know, I just didn't feel very good. Like my head hurt for like a week, and just didn't seem like a good idea to keep going with it. So kind of eased off all that, and I just pretty much play basketball.
Did you played baseball? I think someone asked earlier if you're still playing baseball, if you were coaching baseball.
Yeah, so like right before I went back to school, I guess 2009, I coached a season of high school baseball, and I'm not playing anymore. But like I played pretty much my entire life until I turned 18, got hurt, and yeah, I mean I think it was one of the top experiences of doing it, working with the kids and just like being out on the field. There's something about For me, something about running around a baseball field and just like throwing the ball around and chasing down pop flies and swinging the bat and stuff like it. It's just, I mean, it's something I did pretty much my entire life. So it's something I get a lot of joy from, and being able to coach and kind of like watch other players develop from my influence is a really rewarding experience. And I think that's something that I'll probably do more of in the future, but probably not very soon. So
I've been thinking a lot about coaching basketball,
yeah,
but I'm not sure if I feel like you coach like a certain like eight like, what do you think? So 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 12, like if you're coaching 8-year-olds, it's like they're just not like I'm just gonna get frustrated. I feel like if you're
yeah,
all right, you're formed like this, like hey, like, but in your elbow, like you know, like and they're like okay, and then they just do something weird. It's like dude, what
right.
the,
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. You got to be at least like 12 or 13 or something, because then you got like a little bit of a foundation, and you can like you have enough muscle control to actually implement proper technique and stuff.
when you find yourself at the gym playing with any younger people, do you find yourself like giving them tips, or are you good enough? You feel like you're good enough now to give people tips? Some people just don't want to give any tips at the basketball court because I, I don't know, they don't feel like I feel like people don't want to hear tips on the basketball court from random people. So
I think a lot of people are like offended if you try to give them a tip. Like I certainly, unless like someone directly asks, because I mean like my basketball IQ is just not all that good. Like I didn't play growing up. I didn't like in general I'm not that good. I'm just like pretty athletic and I do okay out there. But like yeah, like I'm always trying to like if someone's really good and they're doing something I think is really good about it. Like hey, how can I defend that better? Or like how when I'm setting a screen for you, where do you want it and why do you want it there? That kind of stuff. And I think that helps me a ton because like these people are clearly much better than me and they know what they're doing, and I can definitely learn a lot from that. As far as like me giving tips, I don't think anybody really cares what I have to say. So
I found the best time to give someone a tip is after you just beat the shit out of them at like one-on-one, or you just like destroy them, and then you're like, maybe you could like improve that you could try doing that, or you try going this way, and they're much more receptive when you give them that nice ass kick. And then if you just were like, hey, dude, hey, come on, bro, no, hey, shoot this way, you know what I mean? It's like you show them a little credibility, and but that's actually what you do is something I do too. Whenever I'm playing with somebody good, I always like I'm like, hey, like what's your footwork like on this? Like, how are what are you like thinking when you're trying to get to the hoop? Like, do something specific. Like, why did you do that? Like, what are you thinking? And then I practice it myself. And whenever I watch basketball on TV and I'm watching on DVR, I always rewind whenever I see like something good that happened, a good move or some type of play that happened, and I like rewind it and I'll like do it in my living room on my basketball hoop and stuff like that, which is probably a bit obsessive when you think about it. But it's like I don't know. I feel like I've actually learned a lot doing this and picking up things from people and picking up things from even television.
yeah, and it's kind of funny we talk about it that way, but like that I did that a lot in poker too. Um, like anytime I'd like see a hand history that I was like, that's fucking weird, but this guy's really smart, so he probably knows what he's doing. Like, I like chatted up everyone I could when I first started playing. Like, if someone was good, like in my sit and go, and they were always like, I was getting heads up with them a lot. I'd like just start talking to them and be like, oh, hey, what's up, whatever, and then like, you see like a cool hand, hey, what were you doing here? Why were you doing that? Like, what were you thinking? I think that mindset is just really, really good in life.
You know,
Basketball, poker.
the Kobe Bryant, he did an interview, I think he's been doing a lot of television lately, but he did an interview, uh, and he said something about that. He said he would call up all of these great players and coaches, even coaches that weren't on his team, and pick their brain and ask them questions. And I was like, their band, Kim Jong Joey band. And I was like, that's such a great idea, just to like call these people up who you have this respect for. And I guess at poker, I was thinking about how can you equate that to poker. And probably back in your day, people were more apt to want to share information. They were like, oh, hey, like let me tell you about this. But now it's kind of like that cutthroat thing. You talk to like when I talk strategy, it's like I talk with a certain people. You don't really step outside your circle for the most part.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's definitely the case. Like, I don't think I could sit down and play with Ike and be like, hey, bro, can like we go through some no limit hands and you could kind of tell me what you're thinking there.
You can grab Mike. Ike's actually on my beanbag chair. I can go grab him if you want to ask him a PLO question real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it was back then. Like everybody was cool with everybody was trying to get better. Nobody like thought that they knew everything, and so we were all still trying to learn. I mean, now if you have your dream machines and your GTO bots and whatever, you just plug it in and you're better than everybody already. Like, why would you share any of that with anybody?
Where the hell did this dream machine term come from? I feel like
I don't
Jungle
know.
Man.
I never heard it before. I'm just going off of what you said.
I think Jungle Man said it on a podcast here. He said like Ike had some type of dream machine, and then it got like went from there. But now we all say, oh, he's got a dream. WCG Ryder's playing PLO. He's got a dream machine. He's not. Yeah. That's how he knows how to puts it in the machine and just tells you what to do. And
right.
Fuck man, I need some dream machines. Steve McVegas asked a couple of questions. Shout out to McVegas Pro, because I don't know if your name's Steve. I might have just made you up a first name, but he says fuck, marry, kill. Andrew Roble, Jungle Man, Barcode.
Okay.
Mary. I don't know. Yeah. What do you think?
What, about fucking them?
You ever played Fuck, Marry, Kill? It's a game.
Oh, fuck, marry, kill. Okay, who are the three?
Okay. Wait, who was the first one? Let me go back up. Andrew Roble, Jungle Man, Barcode.
Who's Barcode?
You're in danger.
Okay. Fuck, marry, kill. Barcode and Jungle Man. Well, I'd probably kill Jungle Man.
Oh, what?
Well, I'm not gonna fuck or marry him.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, yeah, I feel like there's not even really a choice. I guess I'd fuck Roble and marry Barcode.
Man, I'd marry Jungle Man. That's my boy. I'd marry Jungle Man for sure. He's gonna be like in his sleep, like getting. Oh, that'd be amazing.
That's true. There's definitely value to marrying Jungle Man.
People keep asking where Ike is. People in the chat want Ike in here. They really want you to ask him. Ike, put the fucking machine down, bro. Oh, he's coming. Hold on a second. You talk for a second. You talk for a second, Raptor. Hold on. You gotta put the thing on your Raptor. Hold on a second. Yeah, hello, hi guys. Raptor, did you have a question for me? Do you want to ask me something about Poplar and Omaha these days?
Not necessarily about PLO, but I had a question about your dream machine. Did you work on it with anyone else, or did you? I mean, you studied computer science in college, right? I don't know if we haven't talked about it in a while, but how did you put that together? When did it start, and is it for sale, or would you share it with me?
Yeah, David, that's a really good question. It kind of started my second year of poker. I saw guys like you and Tom doing really well, and you can't really talk too much about it. But no, I'm not selling you shit. That's all I got. I'm working on the accent. We've been studying. Scott needs some work, but we've been studying the Ike Haxton videos on YouTube. We've been repeating the voice. And he's got the avatar. I've been working hard. I'm like, yo, shout out to Nothing Is the Show. He's got the avatar like that. He's got the show. We're trying to recreate it really well. We kind of did it a good time, but yeah. So that's our Ike Haxton. He's got a lot of videos on YouTube. So if you watch his videos and just repeat what he's saying back, you can start getting the accent down pretty good.
I think that was almost as bad as my Tom impression, but I mean, it's still probably a little bit better. My Tom impression's pretty bad.
I gotta be honest with you. It froze again. If I turn off the video and play Ike Haxton's voice and then play that voice, I bet you wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah.
I swear to God, you wouldn't know the difference. You'd think that was.
That's a challenge with that.
Never mind. What that was. Okay. They say longer pauses. Yeah. How long does this kid pause for? Jesus Christ, man. We gotta get Haxton on a goddamn podcast soon, man. So, all right, guys. We'll take a couple more questions. Anyone in the chat has a couple more questions they want to ask him. This might be your last chance to ever ask Raptor a question in your life, because who knows if we're ever going to see him again doing any podcasts or videos or anything like that. I feel like I've never seen you on any sort of podcast or anything like this before.
I'm out of the loop.
Yeah, sorry. Deeper voice? Fuck. How do you guys, man, these guys know everything about the iPads. Deeper voice? Okay, guys, calm down. Ike Haxton has a deep voice? That can't be true. All right. Well, there's these new questions someone suggested I ask. If you could give the people listening What was it again? If you could give the people one piece of life advice, what would you give them? New question. Hey, it's on the outline now. I gotta ask it for you. You know.
If I could give one piece of life advice, since I'm such a sage, I don't know. I think the best thing is probably to find something you're passionate about and go for it and do everything you can to do it as often as possible.
Let's say someone's out there, they don't know what their passion is. Would you have any suggestions on how someone can find their passion?
Well, that's a fucking problem for me too. So we're still, so we're still working on that. As far as finding passion, I don't know, man. I feel like I try a lot of stuff. I really love playing basketball, but I don't think that's gonna get. I don't think that's gonna get me too far. Um, yeah, I mean, I think like I try to just like try as many new things as I can, and these days put myself in new situations, new experiences, and just try to have more of an open mind. I know when I was coming up and doing the poker thing, yeah, I mean, I was definitely pretty close-minded. Like, I traveled to all these places for like poker tournaments, and I would just like basically not leave the casino. And like looking back, if I could change one thing about like my history of poker, it'd be that. Like, I think there are so many opportunities I just kind of like flitted away because I didn't want to leave the casino. Uh, and yeah, like just fucking go out there and do things. Don't just like hide in your hotel room.
It's really interesting you word what you just said that way. And as far as the passion for basketball, I thought about that too because I feel like that's like it's weird. That's my number one passion. I was playing basketball and watching basketball, which seems like, as you said, I'm like this is like it's like poker. It's all dudes and like
Right.
there's like not much like yeah. There's just I think about that all the time, but it kind of sounds like that you're kind of chasing it in the right way. You're trying different things out. And one thing you said was you were closed-minded before, and that's exactly how I would describe myself. Like super closed-minded about everything. And now that's definitely something I would be my advice to people is if you can figure out how to be open-minded to just everything in general, a suggestion, a place to something to do, food to try, like people to be friends with. Like, don't just say, "Oh, I need to be friends with this type of person." Before, for me, it was poker players. That's all I'll be friends with. And I
Yeah.
was like, "Wait a second, real life people are cool." I don't even know why I thought this. I was just so like, man, yeah. It kind of sounds like that's where you're at now. You're just trying a ton of different things and hoping that something sticks that you just really love to do.
Yeah. And I mean, if that doesn't ever happen, that's okay. Because like I really like having a lot of new experiences and just it's my mindset's changed a lot over the last like 5 or 10 years, and definitely like I don't know if it's just like we get older, we like kind of figure shit out, or we just figure out what works for us. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a really big thing for me, just kind of having more of an open mind about everything.
A couple questions we'll take from the people here. A couple people said, Thomas Harvey. Shout out to Thomas Harvey. I never seen you in the chat before. What's up, Puppy? And Steve said this too. Steve McKern. What's up, Steve? Steven? What's up? Do you think the poker dream is dead? Is the poker dream dead? What do you think?
I mean, it's not dead, but it's like it's really fucking hard to achieve now. Like all things being equal, if I was 18 in the same spot I was 10 years ago, trying to make it in poker, I don't think I would have. I think I would have just like gotten beat down or just given up sooner. And so I think like if you want to be successful, it's just going to take so much work, and you have to overcome such a massive hurdle. It's definitely impossible, yeah, but it's like at least 100 times harder than it was.
I wonder if people would say the poker dream. Like, what is the poker dream to people? Like, does that mean the Raptor one where you're like up here and you're just at the high stakes in a pretty short period of time? Like, is the poker dream for people just playing high stakes in general, being successful in poker? I think that feels like what the poker dream is to people. It's just having success at poker.
Yeah, I mean, so like, I think it's always going to be alive as long as there are big tournaments and stuff. Like, you can just, you
Yep.
know, play a tournament, bink a tournament for like 500 times your buy-in, and then all of a sudden you're living the poker dream. It's it's going to be a lot tougher to grind it up in cash games, though.
Yeah, that's probably what the Americans, like American poker players, probably what their dream is to probably more tournament oriented. Especially now, you can sell action. You're marking up things. It's like 1.6 for you're like making money on a tournament. It's just like there's so many different ways now that you can kind of get in these tournaments and tournament. Yeah, it's actually I guess tournaments are the way. I mean, PLO is obviously the way to go, guys. I got to stop, but you
You
know,
can spin it up pretty fast playing PLO too, but I think like the current living poker dream is definitely in tournaments.
I'm not going to say that again. We don't advocate tournaments around here. JC Bella says Joe, you should have Geraldes Vulgaris on. He's an NBA guy. He does like Bill Simmons podcast. I can't imagine Geraldes Vulgaris is coming on. He does my favorite podcast, the BS Report. Do you listen to the BS Report?
No.
But Bill Simmons, you don't. You listen to Zach Lowe's podcast.
Nope.
You watch basketball on TV?
Nope. I watch March Madness. That's about it. I don't watch. I watch very few sports on TV. I love to play sports. I just don't really enjoy watching them much.
That's crazy. All right, you can't watch basketball. Kind of play basketball. You don't like watching it?
Yeah, I mean it's enjoyable when I do. I'm just like these days I'm just doing other things. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I forgot. You're like busy trying to finish school, which I know is challenging on its own. Greg
Yeah,
said.
if I was just like playing poker or doing whatever, I'd probably watch a lot more sports. But
Yeah. Greg Churchward. Greg Churchward. What's up, Churchward? Yo, Joey's podcasts are my guilty pleasure right now. Can't help but see the right through to the full. All right, man. Hey, puppy. Thanks a lot for watching, man. What did Aaron Sanders asked a good question? They said, how did you like the way Ship It Holler Baller portrayed you? I don't actually know how they portrayed you in that book. I didn't read the book, but were you portrayed in a negative way?
I don't think I was portrayed in a negative way. I think like the portrayal was pretty accurate given my situation at the time. Like a lot of it was based on my blog and some interviews I did, and I tried to like paint a very accurate picture of what I was feeling and what I was going through. And this was like it kind of went up to the time when I was transitioning out of poker.
Mm-hmm.
So like at the time I was just not really happy. I wasn't happy playing poker. I wasn't happy with what I was doing in life, and I wasn't like sure where I wanted to go or what I wanted to do. And that definitely comes out in the book. But yeah, I don't think I'm unhappy with the portrayal because I think like it was really pretty accurate. So.
I wonder if we should read that book. It sounds like a book people would enjoy reading. A poker historian and a poker fan might enjoy.
Maybe.
Poker historian. What is a poker historian? I don't even know what that means. I'll take like two more, and then we're gonna wrap this up. I gotta eat. Hungry. I'm supposed to be eating 5,500 calories a day, and by that I mean 3,500 calories a day. Lefort advocates like 15,000 calories a day, but I can't do that. Are you on like a diet too for basketball?
I mean, I kind of go in and out of things. Like right now, I'm doing a ketogenic diet where I eat like, max 50 grams of carbs a day. I'm trying to lean out a little bit because I want to windmill dunk on somebody in a game. But yeah, I mean, it's just like I'm pretty active, and I'm not like too concerned with losing weight or anything. If I'm like trying to bulk up, I'll get on that like 5,000 calorie a day thing and just like eat a ton of food. But I generally just try to eat pretty clean and everything organic and like not too much processed junk.
50 carbs max a day?
Yeah.
What? Shit, that sounds tough. That sounds hard. 50
Yeah,
carbs.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I kind of like it. I don't know. After this, do a little Google search on like ketogenic diets. There are a lot of really good brain benefits and stuff too. Like, I like to do that when I'm in school or like I'm like working a lot and I need to be able to focus for long periods of time.
Huh.
Like, I never have like energy crashes or anything. I sleep better. I just generally feel pretty good. It's not as good if you're like working out a lot and like doing high intensity type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think it works okay with basketball, especially if you're doing like the long, kind of grueling 3-hour bunch of games or whatever. So it's actually really productive diet for that because you just start burning fat for energy and you don't need to like drink Powerade every hour or whatever to keep you going.
Are you taking any other caffeine throughout the day, or any like drinks or anything like that for your energy levels too?
Yeah, I mean, I drink coffee pretty much every morning, regardless. But I'm not. Yeah, I don't take any stimulants or Adderall or anything like that. I'm
Whoa,
pretty.
what's wrong with Adderall? We love Adderall. We got love for Adderall around here.
I got no hate on it. I just don't. Not for me, you know.
And guys, I gotta be honest. We just got the best question in the history of the podcast asked to a guest, and I can't believe I actually haven't asked many people this question. Steve says, "Did Raptor ever use the pee bottle?" And that's a great question. Were people, because around here, we're very supportive of the pee bottles, guys. We're big into that. We think that you can't maximize your EV unless you're using a pee bottle. Back in the day, were you guys up on pee bottle GTO, or is that something people were concerned about? Were you endure like peeing in the bottle during the sessions?
I know. I mean, I know a lot of people who did. I never did. I kind of always like to walk around and move around a lot, so I would just switch to my laptop and like go pee and then walk around holding my laptop and then go back to my setup. So I like to get out of the chair, man. I'm standing right now. Like I'm at the standing desk. Like I don't like to be sitting down and immobile.
You're standing right now?
Yeah.
I would never have guessed. You gotta get. I would never have guessed that. I thought you were sitting down for sure.
I don't know. Let's see. We got our chair. Got our chair back there in the background.
You've been standing for the last 2 hours?
Yeah.
What the fuck? What? Are you kidding me? You haven't like wavered at all. You've literally been standing straight up for 2 hours straight. I haven't even got a hint that you're not standing.
Yeah. I got the treadmill desk. I'm standing there.
Wow. Oh, CTS, Cole South asked a great question. Who's gonna play David in this Ship It Hollow Ballas movie?
I don't know. What do you think?
CTS, are you just joining us? We heard some story about you, Cole. If you're just joining us right now.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Now, Cole, we just had you on, so we're gonna have to catch up next time. But we heard something about you streaking through a Denny's with Tom Dwan naked, and we would like to talk to you about it. We want to find out more, Cole, what happened and things that you didn't mention this on the podcast. I'm not sure why you didn't tell us this, and we're disappointed around here. So please let us know. They say Daniel Radcliffe might play you, Harry Potter himself. Okay, I could see that. I don't think Shia LaBeouf would play you, no. Yeah, I don't know. If anyone has any more suggestions, that would be great because we don't know who played Raptor. Yeah, Ashley said, wait, he's been standing. Yeah, people's mind are blown right now. They're like shocked. Like everyone's like, people are genuinely shocked you've been standing for the last 2 hours straight. So.
I mean, it's a thing. It's like it's way better for you. Especially, I mean, you're playing a ton of basketball and stuff. Like, start standing. You feel better.
I pretty much I'm like obsessed with the foam roller and yoga now because I just like whenever I watch TV or do anything I stretch out and use my foam roller. It's just helped me open up my lower body.
Yeah.
Like an incredible amount. And if you're trying to dunk, that's probably a thing that.
Are you doing any ice, like ice baths? Or you got some like compression pants with ice or anything? Helps a lot with recovery of the legs.
Is that the next step for me?
I think so. I think you'll be pretty pleased with how much better your legs feel after like a week of that.
So ice bath,
Yeah, ice bath. Like I mean, you can just get like I don't know three big bags of ice and then turn it up to the coldest setting and jump in there and pour it in and sit there for like 15 or 20 minutes.
Why would anyone do that? That sounds cool.
I don't know. It stimulates a lot of like repairing things, and it's really good for recovery. I don't know the.
Wait, did he freeze? More shout-outs. All right, we got some shout-outs. Marco Aline, what's up, Poppy?
It works for me, so.
Okay. All right. You cut off for a second. Epicurus says someone was spot on when they said Raptor looks like the love child of Bilzerian and Shia LaBeouf. I'm pausing on you. I can see it. Someone want a Photoshop guy that's out there, please. Can you do like a side-by-side of Raptor and then on the left do a head of Dan Bilzerian and the right do Shia LaBeouf, please? Thank you.
And then you can do some kind of like face meld to see what it would actually look like and put that next to me.
All right, guys. Best Photoshop. I'm giving something away. Get to work. We need something that can show us. Make something that shows the heads forming. I don't know, like maybe here in a comparison or like a molding. You guys are good at this stuff. I gotta. Oh, Channing Tatum. I could see Channing Tatum playing you.
You have to grow it out, or I'd have to shave a little bit. I used to not have a beard though, so it probably work.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna leave it at one last question. Here, the last question I have is also from that guy in the 2+2 thread. Thank you for this. Thank you for this question. One piece of poker advice you would give people out there.
Don't be afraid to take shots. Yeah, fucking fire. That's what I think. But always leave yourself outs.
Always leave yourself outs. Don't be afraid to shot take. How many buy-ins for a shot take, you think? 25?
Oh, wow, way less than that. Come on, you're crazy.
What kind of psycho are you? Wait.
But I mean, so like, look, here's the theory.
What theory?
You're not trying to make that your main game, right? Like you're not gonna go in there and chunk off 10 buy-ins ever because it's a shot take. Like you're gonna go in there, you're gonna fire 1 or 2 buy-ins. If it doesn't work out, you're done. That's it. You're done. That's it. You do not buy in again. You do not bust your whole bankroll. And you look at it as this one-time thing, a one-off. You fire your bullet. If you miss, you go back down and keep grinding. Like you don't want to punish yourself playing like 501k or something for like 5 buy-ins when your normal game is like 2550 because then you're just fucking broke. It's just like that's a huge disaster. But you can fire like 1 bullet, or you can sell half and fire 2 bullets. If the game's really good, I don't think you need like some absurd bankroll because you're not trying to make that your main game. You're just trying to spin it up in a really good spot.
God, that sounds so easy in theory to do, but it's just goddamn so hard in practice. You lose that 2 buy-in, you're like, fuck this shit. Let's go.
Yeah.
No, I got an edge. Let's do this. And then before you know it, you're down 15 buy-ins, and you're like, oh my god, what the fuck did I just do?
Yeah, I've been there too. But
my god, that's my 2012 or 11, 10 in a nutshell right there. All right, Marco says, "Nah, we're not gonna talk about sex before the session. We're gonna let you figure that out on your own, Marco." All right, guys in the chat, thanks for tuning into the live stream. Like I said, I'll be back on Thursday. I think I'm gonna live stream it with Alexander Dreyfus. He's the guy from the GPI. We're gonna do it live in Los Angeles at the hotel where the poker awards are gonna be. I'm gonna be documenting those poker awards. There's some bullshit nominees on that thing, so I gotta fire some shots at these. I can't fucking believe some of these people are nominated for this shit. There's a panel, and some of the panelists are pretty LOL. And Jay Kuhn, me and Jason, we're gonna be doing something probably next Tuesday, Monday, something like that. We're gonna be doing that with our underwear on, so we can show off our leg muscles and our abs.
nice.
And well, I think he'd want to do that, right? You think Jason would want to do that?
I think he would probably do that.
That's what I'm saying. I think he'd want to do it too. I'm saying, hey, why don't we do this? He just looks like the innocent bystander. Like, oh, he just said we should take off our shirts and our pants and just show off our muscles. I'm suggesting it. He's a modest guy. He's not suggesting this. So.
Okay.
And David, if people want to follow you on Twitter, which you don't tweet a lot, where can they find you at?
You guys can find me at DW Benefield on Twitter. I don't post all that much, but I'll occasionally retweet things that are useful for the world to know, like how Monsanto is poisoning us all. Things of that nature.
Watch Food Inc.
I have seen Food Inc. actually. I was eating a non-grass-fed steak at the time, so probably not the best idea.
Man, Food Inc. was like that. I recently watched that. I was like, what? That was a revelation. I learned what monosato or something like that is.
Yeah.
That's when I started eating healthier, and I've been grinding all this health food information since I watched Food Inc. I watched something called Food Chains, which was like informative, but not quite as good as Food Inc. And if you guys are out there watching this and you want to learn more about food and you want to be disgusted at some of the shit you eat, watch Food Inc. because that's like a realization. Just realizing some of those things is pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal what's going on. Like, so, and this is a little off topic, but it's about Monsanto. They just did some study that sampled the water and like the rain from a bunch of different places around the United States, and 75% of it has Roundup in it, which is a Monsanto product sprayed on various crops to like kill weeds or whatever. And they have to like genetically modify these crops so that like they'll be able to handle the Roundup. But Roundup like literally kills everything. It's all over our fucking water. It's in the stuff we drink. It's in the stuff we eat. So I think it's really important to try to like eat organic as much as you can, eat grass-fed beef, and so you're not just like, poisoning yourself all the time.
So is that in the regular rain? The rain that rains like down on us right now, it has that in there?
Yep, 75% of the samples tested.
Where'd you
So
read that?
I'll try to find the link and send it to you. It was some study that just came out like within the last week.
That's so fucked up. What is this like? Maybe you shouldn't watch Food Inc. Have you said I think Cowspiracy? What's Cowspiracy? I
Um,
gotta start. I'm like grinding all these food documentaries. Frozen. I'm trying to eat better, and watching these things really helps me. So,
yeah, yeah. Putting
all
the
right,
putting the fear in you goes a long way.
yeah. All right, Raptor, we're gonna be doing our heads up PLO slash basketball challenge sometime over this year. I mean, I'll be in New York City at some point too. So if we don't do it in Vegas or somewhere else, we'll do it in New York City if you're still living there. I'm going to I'm going to a music festival called Tomorrowland. The plane that I booked, it's like this all-inclusive package. It leaves from New York City, so I'm going to be spending like a week there in July, and it'll be pretty fun. I think I've never actually been to NYC, so I'm pretty excited to go and check it out.
I'll probably be gone by then, or just like moving out or whatever. But I'll be in Vegas all summer and playing basketball like 3 or 4 days a week up at UNLV, so we can sort something out for sure.
Yeah, sounds good. That's gonna be fun. You're probably gonna dunk on me though, and I'm gonna feel like an idiot. So, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
try.
All right, guys. That's it. We're done. Peace out. Much love. See you soon.